My name is Walt Strickland. I am running for Constable of Precinct 1. I love law enforcement. I like serving my community. I believe service is a very important part of life, and this is an opportunity to get back into law enforcement and provide a service.
Now, how long were you in law enforcement, and how long ago was that?
I was in law enforcement for a total of 14 years. I left in 92, I believe it was. I'd have to go back and look on the ID card, but I believe it was in 1992, and pursued other careers and options.
And so you've been self-employed since then?
Pretty much. I had a 4-year stint of coaching and teaching school, and but other than that, I've been self-employed.
Do you feel like you're in tune with today's policing requirements and things that law enforcement tactics?
I think that in some of them I would be, yes, and some of them I wouldn't be. I'm a believer in education. I intend to continue to school and take classes and learn every opportunity I have. As far as tactics and things, those are still fairly common, and I think I can catch up very rapidly on that. The job I'm pursuing is a management position more than anything else, and so I think that I'm very much qualified for that aspect of it.
Tell me why you feel it's a management position.
Well, the constable's office has a $658,000 budget. There are 7 full-time deputies. There are 2 office clerks, and they service, I visited one of the deputies the other day. He said he averages 150 services a month. So there's a lot of paper that flows through there. That paper has to be tracked and accounted for. The people, their hours they're working, their time, all of that needs to be accounted for. And the taxpayers deserve to know that they're getting the very best bang for their buck with the money that's being spent in the constable's office. And so while the constable is a law enforcement position, and the constable also goes out and serves papers and assists the deputies, he also is responsible to be the manager that makes sure the office runs properly.
Now, obviously there's already a staff in place, there are deputies in place. If you were elected, how would you determine who, whether you keep who's on board, or you know, anytime there's a change, people are nervous, people are concerned whether they're gonna keep their job or not?
Well, first of all, I believe all of those men have earned the positions they have. They've been there a long time in most cases. They've been very loyal employees for the current constable, and I believe it would only be fair to evaluate rather than go in with an agenda. I believe it's appropriate to go in, evaluate, and meet with each person and find out what their job expectations are and what they want out of their position. I think you evaluate the entire process, how the office is run, and then you make determinations and set your own policies based on that. And if those men meet the expectations you give them and perform accordingly, they have job security just like anyone else. I mean, they have families. Why would you want to go in and take food off their family's table?
Now, to those who might say that you've been out of law enforcement too long, what would you say to them?
Well, if I were running for county sheriff, I think that would be a very valid point. Even though the sheriff's job is primarily an administrative job, if I were trying to be the chief of police or something, yes, I think those would be a very valid comment. But for the position I'm seeking, it's a civil, primarily focuses on civil papers and service work, and it's a good opportunity to get back into law enforcement and further my career. And so I don't see it as an issue. I have a current T-Close license. They have a basic and an advanced and a master's. And I have an advanced T-Close license that is current. I've got all the classes taken.
Do you have an idea whether or not there's enough staff, or there's enough people in the department to to do things right, or
I think there is. I believe that there is plenty of staff. There are some discrepancies in salaries due to just various positions that were added over the years. There's some deputies that make quite a bit more than others, and I think that's something that needs to be looked at. The deputies probably need to have a little bit more of a baseline consistency to their salary structure. And but I think the budget, as with any governmental budget, I'm sure there's things in there that could be tweaked.
to the voters of Precinct 1, what do they need to know about you prior to Election Day?
Well, I will treat everyone in the precinct with the same courtesy and respect, regardless of where they live or who they are. Everybody will be given a fair shake. That I will provide my services to the best of my ability. That I will require my deputies to be faithful to put in the time that they're paid for, and that we will run a very professional and courteous and efficient department. And to me, the aspect of serving your community is a great challenge to me. I'm a believer in service. I think we should all give back to the community we live in, and it's a way to do that. And it's a way to, I think it's a great opportunity to provide education, if you will, to the public. It's a opportunity to provide relationship building between law enforcement and the community, because you're doing it in a different role than the guy that's out writing tickets every day.